Mr. John.
Probably to both of you, the Long Drive Center facility, what is that called?
Mesquite Sport and Event Complex.
Sport and Event Complex, that's right. Has there been any thought or process about making that available to the public, to visiting golfers, to see how far they can hit the ball, putting some systems up there? I know a lot of my friends that come to golf would pay pretty good money to go, hit where the big boys hit for 10 or 20 balls if there was a facility or even an automated system they could use. So have you given that any thought and any research on that?
Absolutely. When that first opened, we did have a nighttime driving range out there, and we had the ball picker up there, and I think it kind of started off really great, and then it kind of tapered off, and we had to do a cost benefit of that. But we have had over the last couple of years groups come in and rent the facility to do long drive competitions on their own. We had a group of media people from Montreal come down, from TV to magazine, newspaper writers, and put on a little long drive event for them, and they thought it was fantastic. And I don't know French, so I haven't been able to read any of their news clips on it. We had one of the people that came with them actually did the PA announcing for it, and tried picking up French, but it didn't work. But they had a great time. And so if you know anybody that would like to do an event like that, have them come talk to me, because, and again, it's not something we just do on the spur of the moment, because we have soccer goals up there for the most part, but I would like to see more and more long drive events. Hate to bring it up in a public forum, but I think that there are probably, just in this parallel long drive competition itself, we have a group of one-armed golfers, leg amputees, the blind golfers that do long drive, and other types of organizations that want to come and do a long drive and hit off, to use your words, they hit off where the big boys hit. That's what was really cool to watch these French journalists say is, was this really where the World Championships were held? Yeah, right here on this tee box. So I think it does have some appeal, and it is something that I will consider and look at.
Well, I was concerned, but I understand you can't have somebody up there measuring and picking up the balls and all that stuff all the time, hoping somebody might show up. But you look at any kind of an automated system that somebody can put a $10 bill on a machine and get 5 balls out that have a microchip in them. I'm just trying to figure out if there's some way it could end up being an on-demand thing for, groups of golfers, that Mesquite Golf and the golf courses and those guys could all kind of promote when they got out of town, even, foursomes or 8 guys or whatever, saying, hey, want to go up and hit some balls up there, it costs something, and go take one. Don't know if that's possible, but it seems with technology today they can track, you got a satellite that can track me right now, so they should be able to track the golf ball from an automated man.
I'm not sure how much that would cost to do, but my concern would be the safety issue of having golf balls floating around all over up there, and we are concerned about our residents up there. They do get a couple in their swimming pools occasionally if you really hit one. But seriously, if somebody wants to do an event like that, have them contact me, but to just leave it open for golf. We have high school soccer teams. We have FC Mesquite go up there for practices, and I just hate to see one of the kids get hurt if somebody went up and hitting golf balls and there were stray golf balls around. But I do want to see more long drive events there. Our intention is to have more long drive events, and while it's set up for long drive, be able to have them come in right after each other, and because there isn't a facility like it in the world.
Thanks, Brian. Let me give you a little bit of a ray of sunshine economically. I think in most of these forums that I've held, we've talked about the fact that we have pretty thin budgets. The housing market is picking up, though. We're starting to see an increase in permits. Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong, did you say there were 120 new homes built this year?
Approximately 150 last fiscal year.
150 last fiscal year ending June 30th. So we're starting to see some signs of life, and I think that's a good sign. It hasn't manifested yet to us as additional revenue, We hope that will be the case. I heard just today that the growth rate in Mesquite is going up. I believe we're at 2 or 3%.
Don't know yet, preliminary.
Okay, preliminary look at it looks similar between 2 and 3%, which is great. I would imagine that I've only been here for a little over a year, and I can imagine that it's probably been several years since we've had any kind of a growth rate. We have about 17,000 residents full-time, at least in July. We have about 17,000. We have about 5,000 more in January. Since we do receive revenue from the state based on population, this has been problematic for us because they take the census in July and we have fewer people here. In January, we've protested with the state, but we've not gotten anywhere. So it's a little bit of a problem for us. We also hope to get a legislative fix for that problem in the recently concluded legislative session in Carson City, and it didn't happen. So anyhow, there is some indication that the economy is recovering, and it's manifesting right now in terms of more new rooftops, and that's a good sign. Richard, anything to add about permitting? Or?
Just more of what you said. We know that we've issued more permits this year already than all of last year for single-family dwellings, which is a good sign. There are fewer homes on the market. If you look at the NOS, the numbers going down, what's available. So, you know, the foreclosures and those properties are selling. People are moving back in. I think there's confidence in the consumers being willing to buy. So those are all positive signs. We're not back to the 2006 and 7 levels, but we're seeing some growth and activity.
Good, thanks. Any questions or suggestions on any topic? We provide every service in this community with the exception of power and water. Everything else is us. Did you have something, sir? No? Anybody? Troy, anything happening in the police department that folks should know about?
Andy ran out of things to say. I talk loud enough you guys can hear me in the hallway. I don't think I need a microphone. I don't think I have anything going new at the police department. We had an officer retire recently, so we hired a new guy you guys probably saw on the street, Larry Stewart. I look at Cheswick, I got the name right finally. Anyway, he just started about 4 weeks ago. So we have one new officer on the street, and we have one in the academy who replaced another officer that was terminated about 5-6 months ago. So we have 2 new guys that replaced 2 other officers that left. But besides that, there's not a lot going on. We have some events upcoming. We have National Night Out coming up. We're planning right now currently, and I can't think of anything else would be of interest really. We do a lot of press releases. Go ahead, Dave.
Do you have any comment on more cops problem?
I was totally avoiding that. Okay.
If he didn't ask, I was.
Yeah, you're limited to 1 minute. As far as more cops, we went through a long process. I learned a lot too at the legislative session. I had to testify in it and be involved in it. Right now they tabled it. They didn't give a time limit when it comes back. We knew it was going to happen. There's a lot of elected people don't like the idea of raising taxes. I understand that. And there's some other taxes coming up right now. I think that was the biggest problem. You know, we have the fuel tax they're discussing currently, so I don't think anyone to put, their name on it quite yet. Last time we had the vote, the county commission did vote to go forward with it 5-2. So this time it was still pretty close to that, but I think there was a few more questions to be answered. They said some constituents had some questions and they wanted to have those answered, even though we've been answering for over 1.5 years. So I'm not sure where it's going to go or what's going to happen with it, but it's still up in the air. It's out there. We don't think it's over by any means. They're going to ask their questions. And it's more of a Las Vegas Metro question than us, of course. They're getting a lot more money, have a lot more officers. We're just a really small portion in there. But it does matter, and it's very important to us. We currently have 7 officers on more cops, and I've said this 100 times. And it'll probably give us 2 more officers, but we're at 1.58 officers per 1,000. It would move us up to 1.71 if we did get 2 more officers. So it's very important to our agency, and I think it would hold us over for a few more years. Right now we're close to having 4 guys on every shift. We work 12-hour shifts, and then we have 4 detectives, and so they're needed positions. Our calls have been up.